Today I am not exactly 100%, but hell better. Okay, let's start this shit again, because today... I swear I am normally more competent than this. Okay, what the fuck was I again? I hope you appreciate my desktop art. I got that done by Robasarel on Tumblr. She's a really cool artist, by the way. I highly recommend that you check her out. Anyway, hopefully I can do this without causing an absolute rock, because I know that this one's a little bit odd when I try to alt-tab. Yes, you're the person who has all the chests, right, in Star Wars? Oh, this time for sure. Cross my fingers, hopeful. Okay, if it crashes, don't give a fuck. Right for that restart. And yeah, I'm mostly not 100%, but mostly over 50. I feel okay right now. I was really quiet earlier.
5 wagons.
If there's a problem with the stream, I don't know what I can do about it.
Ever upward to
the game audio.
For assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern, his only protection against the encroaching darkness.
Again, I'm not sure what I can do about that.
But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
And now for character creation, and I promise this won't take as long as I used to, because I know what character I'm creating. I'm basically doing a canon run of my first run, because this game does what all Bioware games do, and that is that your save from the first one carries over to the second. Is this a retro trail to Oregon remake? Oh. I guess, I mean, your character wakes up having the shits. Okay, I think it was Ghost Blades were pretty good. Letters. Jolting Touch. And Spirit Shield, because nice to be a bit tanky. Right. I know that I fiddled around with these a little bit more. I don't. Perception skill I actually don't give a fuck about. I believe I was going for Old Failure, Dissidents. Something that always tickles me is that the game, at least the first game, kind of makes rods and wands and scepters and stuff to be like the optimal mage weapon that works with some of the abilities of the class, but I never really used those. I was always the stab mage. Oh, and something I really like about Pillocks of Eternity is that whilst a lot of games, particularly those inspired by D&D, tend to kind of push you into being the squishy wizard. In this, you can melee quite effectively as well. Okay. Which, I think it was that one. No, it's time to find the hairstyle that I was actually using last time. I think it was that one. You know, at some point I'm gonna have to upload, like, do some portraits of my own and upload them to the game, because I also like the ones of that come in with the actual game itself. I just like having lots and lots of customization options. Me getting nitpicky about hair colour. Of course. Can be a ginger. I can have blue or green hair, which is fun. The only thing is I wish I could actually move the light source a little bit so I could actually see what it looked like in different lighting, but then again, you're not really going to like zoom in a lot on this. The second one's got a lot more detailed graphics. Okay, dissidents.
I'm here.
I think I was using that one, and you can probably guess who this is. I'm lucky enough, quite a very Valiant sounding name. Anyway. Also, listening to this over the sound of a dog barking. Yeah, I approve of this. Okay, this one, like the second, doesn't have as much narration, so I'm gonna read everything out to you. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red moustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks.
And again, everyone can actually hear what the narration is, correct?
Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. In which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some.
To be fair, the game
Meanwhile,
does
I'll see
start
if we can
out
scare you up some water.
with you getting the most Oregon Trail-esque introduction ever, and also diarrhea.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here. They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do they get out of here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
Let's go see about these berries then.
Hold on, take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travellers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armour-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without a blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up at her on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. and I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Bewick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
I'll have this open in no time. I'll handle this.
Hold on, shouldn't I have skills at this point?
I'll handle this.
Do, but I must be remembering something a bit off. Anyway, first things first, let's steal every single thing that's not nailed down. Proper Manchester style, you know? Redneck Shia Vizsla. It could be, you know?
It's done.
I thought I could actually... I didn't have the lockpick, that's why. Okay, potions, useful.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Hayden, you see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Got a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if it hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
If you think these caravanners prickly, watch out for those axe wielders Adema mentioned. That's excellent advice. Also, something you want to know about this game. Matt Mercer voices multiple characters, and in some cases you get Matt Mercer arguing with Matt Mercer. And yeah, yeah, that's basically that. I'm waiting until, admittedly when I first played this, I didn't actually do anything that was labelled
Something else you need?
stealing, but that was
Like
because
we're
of
settled for
the
the night.
reputation drops. I was too nice to, you know? Tell me about Idea.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners.
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Deerwood is a former deer colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Ariad Syrian's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Let's sell some shit that I don't actually need. Do I have any shit that I don't actually need? Potion of endurance. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep my stuff now because that ring's quite useful actually. In fact, I should equip it. And okay, my endurance, my regeneration. Shove that in the stash. Equip the pet, the giant miniature space piglet. And yes, this adorable little thing. Totally not a Baldur's Gate reference, right? Right. So now let's just go for a wander. I know there's a few things that... I'm being a bit anal here. I like to collect all the shit. At least early in the game. There's a point in...
Not looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
There's a point in Chapter 2 where money stops really being an obstacle, but early on, it's kind of nice to at least start somewhere. I'm not going to bother talking to other caravanners, they don't really say much. Unless, of course, you really want to talk to caravanners with, like, a handful of scripted lines.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
The path winds through a narrow canyon, back the way you
shouldn't
came.
stray too far.
Grooves in the road mark the passage of hundreds of caravans.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
And let's fight a wolf.
Yes?
Admittedly, the combat in this reminds me a little bit of some of the older D&D based games I played, like Neverwinter Nights. However, the big difference for me is that Pillocks of Eternity gives you some per encounter spells, rather than just nailing you all with, like, per day. I mean, a lot of them are per day, but you do have one or two sort of basic abilities that you can just keep on using. I got on good authority that you're some kind of troublemaker. Or at least you were in your own life. And that's why they put me in jail. Yeah? How is it that you happen to come here? I got loose as far as I know. They're still looking for me. Well, we've all got things we're all like to leave behind. Gods know I do. I tell you that. Ears open that never track us down. Kaliska breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Vedric's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. Here to settle, like Lester a lot. I'm just passing through. That's usually the case for the big city, just a little ways further up the same road. Where you headed? Nowhere special, just spend as much time and distance between me and my old life as I possibly can. Seeing as we're halfway in between nowhere and nothing, I say you picked the right spot. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. A demon will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Oh, why are you here? Kaliska sighs unevenly. Her eyes touch the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here sometime back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Isha Mittel. But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here, and we'll see. Tell me about yourself. Oh wait, a demon I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive the route this way, but he's doing it for me. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I found work that lets me live that way. My family wants us too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rautai and another one in Adia. My sister in Gilded Vale, she's the only real homebody. What can you tell me about Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but as far as I know, it used to be part of the Adia Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how I like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it recently. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfle's gonna get in your water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, and when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water.
I'm here.
She says, right before the player leads them on a wild goose chase to pick up all the plants and mushrooms that I can, because anal gamer issues. And honestly, I like the maps in this, they're quite pretty. Oh, that's just woodland. travelers maybe, or looters, or bandits. That's I know where you figure it. The corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. No, there wasn't something down there.
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting. This is recent. Not good.
The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer. Now this looks ominous. You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skins into the cool water whilst Kaliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. You have gained an item, full water skin added to the stash. Out of the trees emerges Sparkle, one of the guides. Barely discernible in dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is a strangeness to his gait, his stride wobbly, and as he moves towards you with laboured breath.
Sparkle, are you alright?
Sparkle's toe catches in the rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh, hello, Johanna! Nice to meet you.
Ambush!
And now for some murder. Actually, see if we can get a flanking bonus. I keep forgetting that the AI. Oh, can't be asked fucking about the AI right now.
Yes?
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Of course.
And shit is finally going down. A little bit more exciting than the Oregon Trail, I think.
I'm here. Of course. Onward!
Probably gonna switch to a melee weapon as soon as I can, actually. Wizards in this aren't as squishy. Oh! Thank you! I appreciate hearing that. Also, if you know anyone else who might enjoy this, please give them a link.
I'm here.
Actually, I should really dump some of this stuff in the stash. Oh balls. That was my hammer. Don't think you wanted to see skinny elf legs, mate. And oh shit, everyone's dead. I am so sad. They have lost the game of Oregon Trail. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travellers, peppered with arrows and knife hills, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Caliska puts the back of her left hand open to her mouth, as if to ward away some poisonous vapour. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs of heads, jerking their axes from the bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hayden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life. For a fight you'll lose. The rune has not been sealed by our hands, men of Glanfath. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. You can kill him, but you might as well be killing yourself. No, I think I will just be killing him. Listen, to dealing a killing blow, you'll have to put your weight behind it, right? The man reluctantly acknowledges your point. As soon as you killed him, you'll be off balance and... Oh, wait. By the time we arrive at your position, you'll be off balance and open to a lethal strike. The others will offend me. No, actually, they're alternately out of a position or lacking in strength and quickness to break my parry. Your death will be assured. The man growls, frustrated. Then we'll save this one for later. He shoves Hayden towards you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade against Hayden's torso. Hayden screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. Okay, let's just dogpile the leader. I know, oh, lovely, they're all conveniently clustered together so I can just nuke them. Now, okay. Ghost Blaze is usually good. So don't need it. Gonna save that to later. Klesko should probably do something about that. You don't have shit.
Yes?
Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, you feel it as if though it was rending you apart from within. Seated against the wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across the chest and bowel, a demon's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head. His eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the warm folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself out of the precipice. With the last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hayden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for Hayden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hayden lashes out at his fatigue-resistant, but struggles to break his hold. They're close to you. From your position, you could have a good chance of hitting a mark. channel a bolt of energy towards the attacker. Your aim is true, and the hitchhiker's hailed and loose. Lurching to his feet, Aiden clambers up to the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from the sockets. You hold out just long enough for Hayden to stay his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet, and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections and unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Loading screen.
Was that?
A Buick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
Alrighty.
I shall.
A lower level of the ruins has been blocked off by a fallen rubble. This place, I don't know how to pronounce this place, but I've been going with a silent line.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Caliska shakes her head. Windstorm, of a kind they only get in Glanfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Glenfathan word is Beowig. To them, it's the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? Who attacked us? Glenfathans. Those would be the hut dwellers the demon warned you about. Look to be fangs of Gallowayne, who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go from ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Edema. I think he half expected this. Once we lost the main road. The Glenfathans said we trespassed in ruins. I don't believe that. Edema would never allow it, but as much as the fangs are hotheads, Glenfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either way, they saw something and got the wrong idea, or... She glances down at the passage beyond. Or there are looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. Let's get going. Hayden takes a step forward and his bare knee buckles. Before anyone can catch him, he stumbles to the ground, his cheeks striking the time-worn cobbles. On unsteady legs, he crawls his way up to the wall and back to his feet, but his stance is shaky, like a sailor walking on land after time at sea.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. Seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfathans were riled about something. We got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
Kaliska's right. We have to press on. We don't know what we're up against.
I'll do my best.
The ruins of Silent Lies.
Someone else has been here. We should move.
There's something else in here. Hello. trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh, but you recognise it as a Zaurib. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs. It's okay, I won't hurt you. The Zaurib recoils, fingers still wrapped tightly around its spear. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you and finds nothing of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Raise your arms and stand still. Same thing again. And I'll slowly back away. No need to fight it. And besides, there's not actually much loot in there.
Look at the tiles. What are those symbols?
Yes?
Traps, I believe. Let's not step on them.
Those symbols. Just like the tiles.
A symbol of a patterned circle is inscribed on a pillar. An unlit brazier sits at its base. It could be lit if you had the means. Which you do. This mural must be ancient, yet the colours are still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Engriffins from all the Kith races: Almauer, Elf, Orlan, Dwarf, and Human. They work among pillars similar to the ones that span this chamber, each one topped with a flame. Which I guess is the solution to the puzzle if I hadn't already worked it out last time.
Onward!
Of course.
I have to admit, oozes in Pillocks of Eternity are like basement dwelling grass in any other fantasy RPG. They're the piss easy enemies you get all over the walls. And then they show up later on and later
muck
on
on
and
the
later on.
wall?
Viscous and oily, this muck clings to anything that it touches. A viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this wall. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Use your water skin to clear off the ooze. You rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of the head, from the tight curls of hair to the ridges of his pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, and a gem fills the other. Another puzzle. Oh, so the traps aren't actually showing up this time around. That's interesting. Lo and behold, we have an Engriffin relief challenge, a tattered journal. This small folio is torn in several places, and blood has soaked into several of the sheets. One letter in tray is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice, and I've got my hands on a genuine Engriffin artifact. Fellow had it said there was a pretty nothing, as far as he's concerned. He's not willing to go digging about in some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to Silent Lies in the morning. Then it's just a matter of finding the relief he was talking about. And as we know, the gem goes in the eye socket of that elf. eye socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. You have lost the Engriffin relief gem. And gained an ooze.
It's not working.
Okay, so we've got a cloak and some gems. Gonna stick that on. Be slightly more fashionable than they were before. Just admit, I really love the mapping. I really love the maps in this game. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Wait, do you hear that?
Yes, I do. Knock that from on its ass.
Yeah.
Oh, already died. Never mind. I wonder if I can give that the sour it. I'm gonna try it. Ooh, I can give the meat to the creature. You produce a piece of sculpture meat from your pack and toss it to the floor. The Zob's nostrils blow out the scent of the fresh meat, and its eyes dart between you and the food. It creeps towards the prize, shoving the spear into your grip and snatching the meat with both hands at the last moment. Its gullet quivers as it devours the flesh in noisy chomps. Huh. Oh, neat. Actually, does it say after? Oh no, it's still eating. Sure, what's the spear like? Yeah, why the hell not? It's not like I'm actually going to be using the ranged weapons that much.
Yes?
Time to not step on any active traps.
Hmm?
Fun fact, if you actually side with Hayden, Caliska tries to do all this herself, and she runs right into the traps and dies horribly.
Yes?
So why are they not? Oh yeah.
How can I help?
I'm here. Indeed.
I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
Short version, monsters.
They'll never know I'm here.
What you need?
Of course.
Also, this green stuff, it's a substance called Adra. It's found across the world of Aoba. And some people believe that it can well, some people believe it's where people's souls go when they die. There may be truth to this, given that animancers, aka scientists studying soul magic, do use it to contain souls. And beyond that is a spoiler. And you can't see the big grin on my face. Bats as large as chickens are strung in the web. Stealing everything that ain't nailed down, as per usual. Also, people are messaging me on Discord. Hold on. Won't be more. Just using my phone instead because it's a little bit... Well, I don't want to alt-tab over this and fuck something up. Four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colourless as stone, or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick grey beard frames the face of what is hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature, and also make him look like a bit of a div.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part. You have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then all at once, it erupts with concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land, and pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed. Its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from down below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are not yours, and they do seem to exist before you think them. And they are all questions. Pressing questions. Troubling questions. Questions that must be answered At the base of the pillar now, you see a man with a thick grey beard and ceremonial robe, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried whilst trying to appear not to appear so. You have something that you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. You awaken to find your malaise is broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it is. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Hayden and Kaliska lie bloody on the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted naturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. And I leveled up. Just to break the mood there, you know? Okay. Oh, balls. Wasn't my intention.
I'm here.
I'm gonna say, but for anything else, don't expect any competent builds from me. I just go with whatever the hell I feel like. And whispers. And, ghosts. Ghosts of people being tortured. What a lovely morning, eh? Good way to start the day. Hobble visions. And they indeed crumble to ash. And let's pick some flowers while I'm here, you know? Oh. Someone about to be burnt to death on a fire. It's no obsidian unless it's dark as shit. And let's have a look at the machine, shall we? This massive structure is formed of stone, azure and copper, and covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with an unusual energy. And thus, our journey begins. Even though we failed the Oregon Trail.
I only need a minute.
Oh, should rest. Is that it? Ominous.
I'm here.
And a ghost. Right there, I don't know if you can see it properly. Okay, there's nothing up here. I don't think there is anything up here. Speed that shit up. And yeah, another spirit. Charming a wolf. And just let's explode that shit.
Beyond seek.
Well, that was a little bit more dramatic than expected. Shattered pieces of crate are strewn across the dirt, along with a few muddy vegetables. The grass is still flattened behind the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbages, potatoes, and squash have all been abandoned. No hand, that means I can steal it! Hey!
Welcome.
This man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. Greetings, he says, a little breathless. On your way south, is it? You look to be a long way from home. Meaning no offence. I'm not sure what brought you down here, but it's no place to go wandering along. He wipes his brow, turning to face you. The sooner you're clear of these words, the better, I think. Never mind the words. There's a strange machine in the ruins up north. There were these figures, clad in black, performing some sort of rite. The man's brows furrow in concern. Ruins? The old ruined Griffin place? You'll want to keep clear of those, wherever you are. You saw. Strange things always crop up around it in Griffin sites, and I don't doubt those people who you saw were up to no good. Let the Glenfarthens deal with it. They don't take kindly to trespassers, whatever their intentions. And there's enough to worry about in these woods as there is. His expression falls. We came across a bear in the cave to the north. Got the better of a friend of mine. I only just made it out with my life. In any case, the forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Who are you? Name's Nonson. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. I haven't had a spot of luck since. He fit his face twice. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. What happened to your mate? We didn't see anything. Well, we didn't see anything coming. Nonson's voice shakes a little as he speaks. We were following a stag, Pearly. He saw something in the brambles, and we went turning off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we even knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose, he smiled sadly. And this time, Galloway's favour fell upon the bear. Where did you find this bear? In a cave? A ways up that way? He turns to point northwest. Wouldn't seek it out, if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that he took another life. Farewell. Now, when I first played this, I went and explored the whole area. However, I found that I was a little bit squishy at this point and needed some backup. So, here we go. Gilded Vale. Welcome to Gilded Vale, we've killed most of the population. Charming decor, eh?
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
He glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. I feel at home already!
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child? Are you absolutely certain? Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps aside and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the farm tree. Oh, charming, at least I've got a decent background. Just don't tell him that.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn, just southwest of here.
I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with Beerwick. Is there someone in town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak.
He points at the body
Consider
hanging from the tree.
yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
And as an animancer, somebody would frown and tried to stop himself from pointing out that, no, that's not what we do. We're scientists, we don't peddle shit. You said something about Hollowborn and the Widewind's legacy before. He blinks. I forgot that you foreigners don't have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful dumb things that breathe, barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are the disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Widewind's Legacy stuck in honour of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Lord Redric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. Before I go here, actually, no, I'm gonna keep that silent, because do I really trust this guy? I wouldn't trust this guy, he's an absolute wanker.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last. 3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of birth must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. Don't threaten me. He shakes his head and moved. It is no threat, only a warning. Lord Redrick will tolerate no threats to his kin, or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. What happened? He shrugged some bony shoulder. I will know more when details. I will know more when details. I will know. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry. A bit tongue-tied. I will know more details when the messages arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps, but this is not your concern. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest at the inn, or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers and no half erased by the rains. Also a lot of dead people. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Everyone calm down. Whatever this is about, I'm sure it's an overreaction. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. We're humble folk, but we're no fools. Not like he thinks, mocking us while he shelters in a village. We don't take to that kind of talk from foreigners, especially not from Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fine, you're itching for a kindling touch of your sister, you clock's favour.
I'll cut that barrel-looking tongue out of your head.
Horror and shock paint themselves across the elven man's face in broad, hasty strokes. This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say he frowns and throws. Whatever it is you think I said. He plants his feet. Sure, as something as surly and raw flickers through his eyes. We nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
This isn't necessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? We don't want your charity either, foreigner. They squint at you through red, bleary eyes. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Oh, balls. That was over quick. As the last of the attackers falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean for slaughtering him? You're welcome!
Well, that is one way of putting it.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork behind it, beneath it, is sturdy and fine.
I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
How do you manage to get yourself stuck out here? That's something of a long story.
I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seawood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was travelling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
Griffin ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Several loaded figures operating a strange machine. I love goggles that use silently. Apparently assisting your earnestness. Finally, he can do a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
What are you doing in the Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
I've been experiencing strange things late, and I'm looking for an expert in souls, even though the character is technically an expert in souls.
The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods at the gnarled old tree in the centre of town. His darting glance takes in tumble-down buildings and the fallow, rock-strewn fields. I expect that such expertise will be best sought elsewhere. Just how did you manage to cross those 3 drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
Well, you did make a rival whose suggestion regarding one of the aggressors and his own sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
And whilst we're here, let's steal all these dead people's shit. You know? Like, totally law-abiding citizens do, you know?
Welcome.
Oh, greetings and welcomes to the Black Hound Inn. Greenkeeper bows her head curtly. Please sit your like. Would you like a drink? A room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer you much by the way of a good meal today, she sighs. Unless you're fond of cold porridge. You want to serve porridge? Olaf looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It ain't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in Deerwood. We had a damnable run of luck, that's all. It's been a bad season for crops, and we've been low on supplies. I sent Tinfoot up north to stock up. Tinfoot's our cook, you see. Now it's worth a good roast, but it's been days since he was supposed to return, and we ain't seen any sign of him. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he didn't turn up. Could try and find him for you. Really? Her face brightens. I'd be grateful if you did. He was travelling through the Valewood. It's probably nothing, a broken wheel maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here will sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Before I actually, time to tell all the shite I picked up. And then just est. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken, and you find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward like mouldering roots. Her head hangs limply to one side, and as you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drip. Her mouth slowly parts with a gust of rancid air as she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Ominous. Actually, let's have a look at. Yeah, I forgot. And actually, let's see what weapons. Because they usually dual wield during this playthrough. Because reasons, you know. I mean, what's the point in playing a game if you don't get to dual wield? Sadly, you can only have a single pistol in this game, but in the second one they fixed that so you can dual wield pistols, like a fucking pirate. Because in the second game, you are a fucking pirate. Let's see. Caldera di Baranzi. The squat, descended body of an elderly dwarven woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of the noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there's a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it. Not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind and focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new familiar awareness. Once you are expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt in your mind. A ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she's staring at you with eyes clouded in milky fog. Her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
1 second. What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprout from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Mayor Wald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kanua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I survived a bivouac. Do you know where that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. call them. Those days are all behind me now.
You said that souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die, and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
Why? She breathes a mild sigh, sending a small beetle skittering from inside her cheek. And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Her arms turn out stiffly in what might be a courtesy. Caldara di Berenzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of them, no. But I came here all the time because this was where help was needed. Aw. What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping chuckle, a choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself. Oh, come now, such a question, as though the answer weren't as plain as the rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for pittance, humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife and see where the gods had seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months. Looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found? Tell me. She shakes her head. Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, the Lord of the House demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord, she was riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew nearer, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I ended up. Any other questions?
Of course, dear.
I don't have other questions.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and the head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. I've got an ability. Olaf looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. I'm not watching. Well, this is interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect that this has something to do with the Hood of Inquisition runes, right? In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're travelling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? Only that they're rare and that seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions. He coughs, just as he demonstrated. Let's continue on.
17 and a half.
The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-coloured hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks at you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a particular smirk. Well, a peculiar smirk, even.
17 and a half. Well, it could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Hello, fans. Is this what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19.
He looks...
Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22. 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you for a moment. His brow arched, and his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a radrick at first.
Impossible. I don't drill laugh as much. Ha! So you're already familiar. Still, you're gonna have to forgive my curiosity. Around here, we prefer to turn a blind eye to our dead. Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. There'd be any number of radrick bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, radrick especially. They come to these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're gonna be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Richard sent his men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority that someone in town was working with Kolsch, plotting Redrick's overthrow. Said that if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Redrick, then for protecting me. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedrick's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Aleph glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's Kolsch? Someone who got tired of all hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be until I catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Widewind's legacy started with Widewind. We're gonna travel together. Where you headed? Some place called Cadnoa. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
So fine reason if I ever heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Let's get going. A day to speak with Merwold. Okay, I know there's a couple of quests around here. But I think for one, a good place to start would be to head back up north and go wrestle a bear and find
I
that
have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands.
Shaman fella?
It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you can make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Radric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
This is outrageous. I came a long way. You should have no problem continuing on. Trust me when I say it would be best if you were not here when Lord Redric's men are dispatched from the hold. He'll be looking for anyone who might have brought the legacy upon us, whose very presence might have polluted his wife's womb. They will extinguish all possibilities. Tell me about him. He comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since the Adair times. Redric II was an early supporter of the Deerwood independence during the Revolution, and the current Lord's father perished in the Saints' War. Hollowborn began appearing in the Deerwood shortly after the war's end. Lord Radric has taken it upon himself to purge the curse from Gilded Vale. His measures have been severe but necessary. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to have been enough to protect his heir. I see. Lord Redric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. He nods. If there are any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. Feck off. Let's do some exploring, shall we? Oh, that's a convenient place to level up. And by convenient, I mean fucking annoying.
Charge!
That reminds me, I have to like set the AIs because this game doesn't seem to have default AI. And still wolf's pelts and level up. Corrosive Siphon and Necrotic Lance. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna see if there's anything I want to nick from Alaf's Grimoire. Nah.
Indeed.
Oh.
Yes?
These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance for climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Scale the wall. The crumbling wall is of a considerable height even now, and its uneven surface promises a difficult climb. Who will scale it? Ask Adair to climb up. Adair finds a handhold upon one of the large stones and starts to climb. Despite a few loose rocks and awkward angles, Idea makes swift progress and quickly arrives at the top of the wall. Once there, Idea helps you up and over the side. And still a sky ship. The scroll letter. I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right, Fulvana. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I have put myself out the reach of the beasts circling below. But I am... Which one does? But I am done for all the same. I do not think that I will arise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I will be a trapper of wolves. Gloves with +2 dexterity, that's good. I have all the camping supplies I can carry. There we go. From the edge of the wall you can see an old cobblestone road turning south and the patchy trees of the railwood, and I'll climb down. You swing yourself over the side and pick your way back out to the ground level. There's a bandit. Charming. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. Aggressive. Crowd control. Aggressive. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why the game doesn't have any... What's this? It doesn't set the AI from the get-go, so you have to do that yourself.
I shall.
And the bloody bandits have kidnapped the cock. Of course they have. 10/5. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up startled. As you approach, he drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get in your dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please. Oh! One of the bandits gives 10/5 a kick as they pass him, and he yells.
Hey.
That's it. I shall.
Onward.
Of course.
Welcome.
Brother Flame, thank you. I thought I would be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Until they were bored of me, I suppose. Did Pascal send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once, but listen. The next time you're in Gilded Vale, make sure to drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know that what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, hey, back at my oven again.
I'm here.
Nice little good deed. If anyone has any questions about the setting of the lore or anything, feel free to ask, because I love to gush about this. The tent is empty, but for a pair of staying cots and the stink of unwashed bodies. Charming. Absolutely freaking charming. I believe the bear is up. The bear is meant to be up here somewhere in a cave. Here we have some zombies. Wonder whether I really should turn the difficulty up, actually. I don't think you have to start a new game for that, I'm not sure. The struts and supports are large enough to be the ribs and vertebrae of a dragon. I love dinged, that's good. Rolling Flame is such a fucking fun spell, I'm gonna have to take it. It is also wantonly destructive and will nuke your own party, but hey, that's the fun of it. What looks interesting? Binding Web actually, because that's useful.
Yes?
Deer as well. Didn't notice that. I usually have a deer as the tank, essentially. As I get more adventurers, I'll probably add Palagina as the off-tank. You do need to, as you go through the game, you do need more than one defensive character, essentially. Have I got any better gear? Not really.
Of course.
Alright, let's go
here.
fight a bear.
Indeed. I'll see what I can find.
Let's fight a bear and try and be sneaky about that first.
Yes?
Yes.
Fell off. set everyone on fire, but hey, might happen anyway. YOLO?
Yes?
Oh, dead.
I'm here.
First time I did that, I tried to do it on my own and I got absolutely wrecked.
Indeed.
And bear belt. Actually gonna.
Let's keep quiet.
Yeah, there's everything there. Might scroll through eye sockets and hope for femurs. Okay, let's see what I say. As figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern, its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence, you feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. Reach out. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you've been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back, and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know, suddenly, that you have come a long way from the Vale hunting deer. Now you're standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest, as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there's a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain. But in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And then there is a great, dark shape above you. And then there is more pain. The vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the spectre lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. I met him on your road, your friend. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him, and I'll see that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright, and your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exaltation, growing fainter and fainter, until you are alone once more. Also, I'm just going to take a short break, get a drink. And I'm back! Oh. Discord messages. Okay, so... Let's get to Faith. Alright. Time to explore the village, I think. dear wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself. Or perhaps to an unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Hail and well met.
Well, finally, I was starting to think. The woman makes a startled noise when she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry, I was expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? Nice cat. Alpha smiles brightly. Oh, thank you. She's a sweetheart. He keeps the vows clear of mice, too. I just arrived in Gilded Vale. I thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you with one of the caravans? She looks at you hopefully. Master of Demons, by any chance? Yeah, I was, yes, but I'm afraid that the rest of the caravan was killed. Alpha covers her mouth with her hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments, she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I knew. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Caliska was always so certain that she could take on any danger. Alpha sniffs. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her. She might be alive somewhere. Alpha's face crumples, and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. A tear slides down her cheek. Why did you send for Kaliska? Oh wait, Kaliska mentioned she thought you needed help. Perhaps I could provide some assistance. Alpha looks at you with some surprise before diving out her nose. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this on you. It's not a small favour. She wipes her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Kaliska as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Redrick, he's exiled them all, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavour, she sniffs. With my efforts gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost my home too. I hoped that Kaliska could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child being born hellborn. But she moved south to Anslug's Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am. But I don't have anyone else now with Kaliska gone. More tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? I'll find Ranga for you. Alpha blinks, eyes wide. You will? Oh, God bless you. Yeah, I'll give you some coins to pay with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions that's of, well, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Anslug's Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wild to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. She clasps her hands together. Thank you again. Truly, you'll be saving us both. She sat her hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Can I steal anything? Yes, I can, but I think it would be highly unethical to steal from a pregnant woman.
The better part of valor.
And also because can I cuddle the cat? Can I cuddle the cat? Oh, I
Yes?
can't cuddle the cat. There should be a cuddle emote for the cat, you know? Also, I have to appreciate the glowy star pig. Let's have a look.
I haven't been in here for, must be 5, 6 years. Used to be real nice. Bright. Warm.
A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeve soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain.
Well met, friend.
Thought you were some... never mind. Whoever you are, you've travelled a long way to reach a dark place. This temple ain't what it used to be. Probably for the best. Time was being in the air. He groans and shifts position, wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you were thinking. Not one of the faithful either. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. He regards you wryly. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what? The man points a finger upwards. These ruins around us used to be a temple of Aethys, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Deerwood, from Raid Service even. Not so much from Raid Service these days. Until the war, of course. Even then, you'd get some of the stubborn ones, the ones that couldn't get through their heads that the god was dead and gone. Go on. Once the legacy started, Lord Raedric decided that he'd been too lenient on the Aethosians. He and his people would go in, put them to the sword, left them down there, buried, under a heap of rock. After that, Raedric ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that, until recently. Lord Raedric hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven, and the legacy will end, see? But until then, the temple isn't as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Waiting licks his lips. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that. Chopped down in their own god's house. Doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find the remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial, Wharton breathes out. No small task. There's coin in it for you if you need motivating. Alef's cautious expression softens. Pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. I take it that they're not supposed to be in here. Well, I'm meant to be in and out nice and quick. I'm not hurting anyone, it's just that Lord Raedric's forbidden anyone from having anything to do with the scattered god. It'd be a little harder to explain to him than you. It's a good cause, though, isn't it? And you could make more coin in the process. They're long dead. Why does it matter where they're buried? It's about respect, isn't it? About deserving to be remembered. Not just tossed under a pile of rock and forgotten, he breathes out shakily. Thought it worth the effort, giving that to them. Okay, I'll find them. Then, by the flame, I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed off for so long, it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll be there still, if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches on the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out, and take care down there. I wouldn't want to have to send someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. I'm gonna ask
Good day, stranger.
Oh, can't ask him questions. A rising sun and 3 dawn stars, the symbol of Aethys.
Charge!
Walls, they dominated a day.
How may I help?
Pain in the neck. In the neck? I think you mean in the dick.
Of course.
The dispassion is worn and tattered, and the ink upon it faded. In the charm of hardship, we must have faith as we must have just as much faith in ourselves. Sure, that this should have been something that triggered that, but what's it here?
Charge!
I shall deal with this one.
I've got to get.
Oh, balls have been poisoned.
Of course. On.
Oh, there's more of them. Wait.
Of course. Yes? I'm here.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of archaeologists.
I shall.
I must admit, I prefer the second one in regards to spellcasting because it was per encounter rather than per day with a lot of the spells. The nearby crystals light the cracked mosaic floor in shades of orange, and at certain angles the metallic symbol beneath your feet gleams gold. As you look on, the air shimmers as with summer heat. The very dust and air seem to pull together until the thin, glowing mist appears before you. In its rippling gleam, you sometimes think you can see the shape of a man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Is anyone seeing this? Your voice sparks movement, and the spirit surges with a sudden blazing light, and in the next moment you are somewhere else, your mind assailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You're in the chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in a great crowd, spilling into the hall. Bodies press against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of the initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles, and the room is dark, save for the podium, lit from behind. Two people stand before it, lit in silhouette. A man is shouting, a voice so ragged with fear that you cannot understand what he says. But the rhetoric stands calm, removed. Her strength will see you all through these dark times, and you feel that hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. The spirit tears itself from you with sudden dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the rune altar, swaying. And the spirit fades as suddenly as it appeared. The face of this statue has had most of its features struck off, alongside portions of its hands. The red brown smears flake away under the toe of your boots. Actually, I should be careful because I know there's traps around here somewhere. And monsters.
How may I?
I shall.
How?
wasn't aware that the Skuldras were
I'm here.
venomous. We're gonna have to rest in a little bit because they're both gonna be low on health. To His Grace, I want to write to implore. The rest of this letter is crossed out in several places and then abandoned altogether.
The better part of valor.
These prayer scrolls are coated in a thick layer of grime and dust.
I'll have this open in no time. It's done.
Sword. Over. Saber. Oh, found something. I'll stick it on the deer. Did I get any interesting books? Just stuff.
I shall be discreet.
Oh, hell.
I'm here. La la. Onward. Yes?
Unless it wasn't bloody paralysis, that's like the most
low.
bastardy of status effects in this game. Vermin have scoured these plates, though mold still grows in green-black clumps across the table. I think there's some traps around here somewhere. I'm not wholly certain. Hold on, apparently Twitch has had an error. Don't know when this takes forever to save, but apparently it does.
What's this?
Oh, let's not set that off. Ring of Deflection, sounds like one for a day. Oh shit, no more spells left. Yeah, I need to list. Let's still smack him with 3 health. And a day can take it.
Not to alarm you.
Oh balls. Glad I just saved, you know?
Hi.
Yeah, looks like a good place to camp, I'd say.
Hey.
A haze fills the air, coalescing steadily into a blur of dust and mist. It gathers into the outline of what appears to be a dwarf, a shimmering echo that fades in and out of sight. But stronger than the sight is a sense within you of a powerful energy. It roils and seethes with a grief that seems to spill into your own thoughts, tainting them, until the sorrow is your own. Like a crashing wave, the energy surges towards you and into you, and suddenly you're elsewhere. Before you is a brightly lit stone corridor, lined with torches and gleaming crystals. You're running, your footsteps echoing off the stone around you. You've got to tie your sandals and they're slipping from your feet, fouling your steps. You're late again. The right's going to begin without you. You hear the tone of a bell, and your spirits lift as you recognise the familiar, warped tone of the right hand, representing the first of the drawn stars to appear in the night sky and last to fade in the dawn light. You pray fiercely that this is the first of the chimes and not the last. The lights fade, as does the memory, and when your eyes clear, the spirit is gone.
All right then.
Consume. Wand, some stuff. Powerful odour of spices rises from one of these dishes. Vibrant dyes and green seeds fill the others.
I shall.
Spice is still bloody edible. I think I might call it here for now. I'm getting quite hungry and I'd like to shove some food in my face. Thank you for watching. I've really enjoyed doing this, and I'm probably gonna save this to Twitch, or I don't know, stream some tomorrow even. Anyway, thanks for coming and good night. Did I save? Hope to hell I actually pressed save. If I didn't, then... oh, balls. Oh well.